Evening, all of you guys. Hope all of you can hear me. Yeah, guys, anyone? Can you please confirm, guys? Is I'm audible? Right, guys. Yeah, thank you. So, guys, I have taken 2 demo classes in the yesterday and the day before yesterday, just to get some idea about like what is data science, what we are going to learn. So, hope you all of you got some idea. So, who has been attended the last 2 couple of classes, you may be getting some idea like it's maybe like what exactly we are going to be doing in the data science. So simple to say that in data science, what we are going to learn is, guys, we are going to learn the various techniques we are going to learn. We are going to learn various techniques. The main target is to get some insights from the data. If we get the insights from the data, we are going to be using some different techniques we are going to use. Like what techniques it is going to be, some mathematical and statistical techniques, and some kind of an like we can say that some kind of a system like we can say something like an machine learning, deep learning. So these are all going to be the different types of, just give me a second, guys. Yeah, so these are going to be all the different types of techniques which we are going to use. Our main target is to very simple, guys. We have some data. Using the data, we want to get some kind of an insights. So for that, what we are going to do actually, guys, so we are going to take some help of, which is going to be something called as a machine. We are going to take the help of the machine. So we are going to feed the data to the machine. We are going to feed the data to the machine. Machine is going to understand the data and it is going to get the insights from the data. Now using these insights, what we can do, guys, we can do some kind of an prediction. That's why it is going to be all what we are going to call it as a predictive analysis, what we are going to call it as. So various techniques will be there at different levels. We are going to use the different techniques. So today I'm going to explain you, like I'm going to give an idea like what techniques we are going to learn. What are the different techniques we are going to learn? Every time I'm saying that we learn some techniques, we learn some techniques, we learn some techniques. What are those particular techniques? So different techniques we are going to learn it actually, guys. So I already told you the definition of a data science. It is an interdisciplinary field, which is going to be nothing but which uses where we are going to use the various techniques, methodologies, or we are going to be using a different type of systems to extract some insight from the data. The data may be a structured data or it may be an unstructured data. First of all, so let me tell you about what are the technical skills we are going to learn actually, guys. The first one is going to be nothing but I can say something called as a data collection. It is nothing but the first skill is going to be nothing but it's a data collection actually, guys. Data collection is nothing but how do you collect your data? How do you collect the data? So whenever we want to collect the data or whenever we want to get some data, so what are the different techniques? What are the different skills that we are going to require? So don't think that data collection is a very simple technique which we are going to get it actually. No, there are so many issues are going to be gets coming. And one more thing is the data is also going to be resides in different type of systems. Like it may be a CSV file, or it may be some kind of an Excel sheet, or it is going to be some kind of an database systems. It can be available in a different type of database systems. Nowadays, it is going to be coming in different types of cloud storages. So we are going to discuss about how to extract the data from CSV, or how do you collect the data from Excel sheets. Not only that, I've just given some few points actually, guys, because different techniques will be there. Every type of data cannot be collected in the same way. We are going to use a different techniques for getting the data or for extracting the data from different type of systems. We are going to be using a different types of techniques what we are going to use. We'll see. We are going to see all these kind of a techniques we are going to do that. So don't think that data collection is going to be just straightforward. We can just read the data. No, guys, there are different techniques are going to be there. Just for a small timing, I'll show you one small skill set actually, guys. Observe just an example, just to make you understand the concept actually, guys. How simple it is going to be. How simple it is going to be. So every day we'll use a different data sets we'll use actually, guys. All data sets are going to be real data sets. Real data sets means it is not just like in FUC. The main problem here is our data is not a very small data sets actually, guys. See guys, how much data is going to be there. So we have to study all this data, more number of variables actually, guys. For example, let us say this actually, guys. I want to just load these particular 10 records. Just I'm telling you, like I want to load this particular 10 records. I want to load it actually, guys. See guys, how I'm loading it. Control C. I'm copying it, guys. I'm copying. I want to do some analytics. Actually, in Excel sheet also we can do some analytics, guys. But I'm going to load all this data. Now the data is available in a CSV file. The data is available in a CSV file. Just a quick understanding to make you understand that. So don't worry, I'm going to be using Python, or it may not be Python, guys. Let me use some other language, R language I'm going to be using. So we are learning some multiple skills. We are going to learn it actually, guys. Multiple skills. It's not that we have to learn only this particular tool. Always we have to do only by using this technique. It's not like that actually, guys. We are going to be having a different types of applications, what we are going to be using it actually. So whatever it may be, whether I use this is going to be nothing but an R, which is going to be an R language, what I'm going to use as. Similarly, we are going to be having, which is going to be something like I'm going to be using something like in Python. So Python can be written in different ways. I can write it in a Python Jupyter notebook, or I can use Python Spider. I can use multiple options. I have it actually, yes. I have multiple options are there. So now see what I have been done. I copied the data. Okay, I just Control C. I copied the data. So I don't know how many of you have the idea about that. Whenever we copy the data in your system, guys, internally, all these are going to be copied into an Windows object called as an clipboard. Windows will have an object called as an clipboard is an object what will contain actually, guys. Do you want to see the clipboard? You can see the clipboard like this actually, guys. See, guys. So this is the data what I have been got copied actually, guys. So see, it's not only showing you what I have been copied just now. Previously, earlier, whatever I have been got copied, all that particular codes, whatever the syntaxes I have been got copied, all these things we can see it actually, guys. So see, earlier what I have been got copied, all these things are going to be available here now. Hope you understood what is my point of discussion. So there is something there in the clipboard. I'm not copying and copying directly actually, guys. Actually done like that, but I don't do this one actually. Just have a look at this one. Don't worry, just it is not in a proper structure format actually, guys. So import, I'm going to be importing a pandas library. And what I'm going to do is simply I'm going to say it is going to be in pandas. We are having a method called as read underscore. We can read it from the clipboard actually, guys. So this is the object what I'm going to be reading it actually. See guys how structured wise the data has been came. I'm not simply copying and pasting, guys. If I simply copy the paste and the data here now, this is how the data will be coming. There is no structure for this. But here there is going to be some kind of structured data is going to be there actually. As you can find the difference. So just I'm telling some kind of what exactly I mean to say that. So I'll tell you all these different type of skills, a different type of techniques. So how I can read the data from a CSV file. How can you read the data from Excel sheet? Excel workbook is containing multiple sheets. How to read the data, how to connect with the various different type of database systems. So like that, we are going to be having a multiple options. We are going to be working with them. So first of all, we have to see how we are going to learn a skill called as, or a technique, what I'm going to get calling it as an, which is going to be how to read the data from a particular file. It may be a file or it may be a database system. We use the different types of cloud storages, how to read the data from different type of cloud storages, guys. It may be something like an Azure, or it may be something like an AWS, or it may be something like a GCP, whatever it can be there. So we are going to be working with the different storage types. We'll work with them. Once you have been loaded the data, guys, one of the main important work is going to be, as I said that, we'll give the data to the machine. So directly we don't collect the data and directly we don't feed it to the machine actually, guys. Before we are feeding the data to the machine, first of all, we have to analyze. First of all, we have to analyze, is our data is in a proper format such that the machine can study, that is what the that is what exactly the this particular machine is going to be talking about. That is what exactly we are going to be talking about that. So first of all, what we have to do, guys, before we are feeding the data to the machine, first what we have to do is we have to check, we have to just first of all verify whether the data is in a proper format such that our machine can study the data actually, guys. That is what exactly we have to do it actually. So that is nothing but what we are going to call it as, that is going to be nothing but what we are going to be calling it as the data analysis. That means first of all, we are going to be doing some kind of an basic analytics, guys, not complete analytics. So whether the data is in a proper format or not, just to study that particular data only, we are going to be doing some kind of an analysis is what we are going to be doing it actually, guys. That is what we are going to be call it as a data analytics is what we have to do that. This is the next skill actually, guys. So how to analyze the data. So what kind of a data will have, what type of analysis we have to do that, what type of different statistical analysis, what are the different types of categorical analysis. So all these things we are going to be verifying, or all these things we are going to be discussing whenever we verify this kind of an applications, we are going to be doing it actually. Okay, so what is that? I'm going to discuss about the later classes. We are going to be discussing about that. That is going to be the another skill what we have to learn. So these are all the skills actually, guys. These are all the techniques which we have to learn. So how to collect the data, how to analyze the data. So once you analyze the data, we can find out the various issues in the data sets actually, guys. So once if you look at the data, it looks like everything is going to be clear, but actually there is some lot of issues with this data actually, guys. Unless and until you don't analyze, you can't find it off. Looks everything good, everything looks to be good, guys, but unless and until you go into the data only, once you start with the data analytics only, we'll understand what are the main issues with this particular data actually. Some issues will be there actually, guys. Sometimes data will be missing, sometimes some unrelevant data is going to be gets coming. So there are some lot of issues will be coming with the data actually, guys. If I feed the data same as it is to the machine does not study, does not understands the data in a proper way, or it does not understands in a correct way. That's why first of all we have to identify, is there any issues with this data actually. If there is any issues are there, we have to just identify them and we have to resolve that kind of an issues what that is available actually. So that process is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as a data cleansing technique, what we are going to call it as. So load the data, do some analytics, and do some kind of a data cleansing operations. This is called as a data cleansing actually. As cleaning is nothing but cleaning the data. So cleaning, you know, why should I clean the data actually, guys? If some data is going to be some dirty data, or if there is some noise in the data, noise means, you know that noise means some kind of a disturbance. So if there is some noise in the data, or if there is going to be some kind of an issues with the data, so identify that issues, either we have to replace them, delete them, modify, whatever you want to do that. That is what we are going to call it as a data cleansing or a data cleansing operations, what we call it as. And to understand in a better way, that means sometimes if you want to understand the data in a better way, the one of the very important skill which everybody has to require who works on the data science is one of the very, very important skill is going to be nothing but it's a data visualization. It is a data visualization actually, guys. So data visualization is nothing but that is also one kind of a skill where we are going to convert all our data into, which is going to be some kind of an, which is going to be in a visual format, we are going to convert it actually. That is what exactly we are going to be calling it as a data visualization skill. So if you see this data, you cannot understand that much easily. We cannot understand that much easily actually. Just an example I'm talking about that. Okay, so let us put this data into some data frame. Let us say we call it as some object called as a data frame. So once if you have a look at the data, this is the data. Just it's a very small data, guys. For example, if you see which type of educational field we have it, We have life sciences, other medical, etc. So what type of business travels they have? They have a travel rarely or a travel frequently. We have what is going to be some kind of an some attrition label. It is ex-employees, ex-employees. So you know what is going to be the employees who has been left the company. So it is going to be what we call them as ex-employees, who are currently, there are going to be nothing but there are current employees. Just an example, I just want to know, it's very small data only guys, very easily we can do that actually. For example, if I just want to know how many different types of educational fields are there, being the data is a very small data, easily we can find out there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 life sciences, and 1, 2, 3, which is going to be 3 medical, and which is going to be 1 other is there. We can easily do that, isn't it? Because it is a very small data set, I can just by looking at the data, we can identify. But if the data is really a large data set, then we cannot do it actually, isn't it? We cannot do it actually. So in that case, how do you do some analytics? So I'll do some kind of an visualizations. So just nothing to worry, just I'm showing you some kind of an application. I'm just showing you so that you can get to know that like what exactly I mean to say that actually guys. So just nothing to say, nothing to do. Just if we can observe carefully, I'm just performing some kind of an operations actually guys. So see, 6 life sciences and 3 medical, and it is going to be 2 other. But I want to convert this into, which is going to be nothing but into some kind of a bar chart. I'm going to be gets converting actually guys. So if you can see this, the outcome is going to be coming like n, which is going to be bar chart. So this is nothing but I call it as a data visualization, what we are going to call it as. Data is the same data, but I converted into visual. But for that, I'm not using any data visualization tools, guys. Like I'm not using any Tableau, Power BI. Actually, there is Power BI is there in our course. But I'm going to do all these things with the help of the Python libraries only. I'm going to be doing it initially. Initially, we don't want to use any other tools. Later, we'll learn the tools actually, guys. But as of now, this is our data actually, guys. So see how simple I have been. I didn't written any complicated code. I didn't written any much functional code. I didn't written anything. Just a small operations will be there. If I apply the functions, we can get to know about those particular things. This is data visualization actually, guys. Here also we are going to be learning a data visualization skills by using a different ways. One is by using some Python libraries, and as well as we are going to use as a tool called as, which is going to be a Power BI. So I was also an expert in Power BI, so I will be also taking some sessions on even Power BI also, complete Power BI classes, complete end-to-end Power BI. We have tech end-to-end only, but not that much deep level. It is going to be, I'll just give you the ideas like what Power BI contains, an overall view of how the Power BI to work with them actually. So see, so I have to collect the data, I have to do some analytics, I have to do the data cleansing, I have to do the data visualization. Who will do all these things, guys? Machines won't do that. I have to collect the data, I have to do the analytics, I have to clean it, I have to visualize it. Once if the data is ready, then we are going to give it to the machine. Then machine is going to learn actually, guys. So the next step is the machine learning, which is going to be nothing but where the machine is going to learn from the data, what we are going to feed the data. We are going to feed the data, guys. Compulsory, we have to feed the data. But I told you, I given an idea like how the machines can learn. Machines cannot learn directly by themselves. With the help of some kind of the machine learning algorithms, we have to use it. So we use some kind of an algorithms. We are going to feed the data to the algorithms, and algorithms are going to learn. Actually, technically, whenever we are going to call it as, this is what we are going to call it as an, actually, to make you understand that I call it as a machine learning, but technical is nothing but we are going to call it as a model fitting is what we are going to call it as. We simply call it as a model fitting actually, guys. I'll tell you, once you go to the machine learning, you will understand it. It's called as a model fitting. What I mean to say model fitting means where the machine is going to learn. Where the machine is going to learn is nothing but what we are going to call it as a model fitting actually, guys. So here, what is going to happen here is the model, it's nothing but a machine learning models actually, guys. The machine learning models are going to learn. They are going to learn something from the data. They are going to learn it actually. We call it as model fitting, or what we are going to call it as training, which is going to be the data model. We have a different names are there. Right now, it's not required. When you go to the actual application, we'll understand those particular concepts, guys. Right now, it is not required. So once again, it whether we call it as a model fitting or what we are going to call it as training, model fitting, whatever we call it as, the model is going to, the machine is going to learn something from the data actually, guys. But once the machine has learned something from the data, first of all, we have to identify. That means before using it, machine has learned, guys. Okay, fine. But before going to use it, first of all, we have to identify whether the machine has learned, how much extent the machine has learned, how much exactly or how much extent it is working correctly, whether it learned correctly or not. How do you identify that? That is what we are going to call it as an model evaluation, what we call it as. It is nothing but just like an what we can call it as, guys. So we went to the school. We went to the school. So in the school, we have been learned something. Same as it is, machines also learns. Machines also learns actually, guys. So to understand or to evaluate how much extent we have been learned, they will conduct an exam. They will give some questions. We have to answer. Here also the same way actually, guys. Machine has learned here. In this case, machine has been learned. Now, how much extent the machine has been learned, we have to evaluate it. That is nothing but what we normally program in other programming languages, we call it as testing. Here we don't call it as testing actually, guys. Here we don't call it as testing. We are going to call it as evaluation. How much extent you have been learned correctly. There is some advantages also there actually, guys. With machine learning, there is an advantage. For example, let us say that example actually, guys. I ask you to write a program. For example, if I give the input as 10 and 20, you have to get output as 30 is an output. Just an example. So you have written. So if I give the input as 10 and 20, output is 10 and 30 means, you know that we have to add the two numbers. We have written the logic. Some logic you have written actually, guys. Now, whenever you have given input as 10 and 20, for example, if I got, for example, instead of getting 30, you have got 29, then simply you say that the program is not working correctly. In normal programming language, we expected 30, but we have got 29. We have written, we have got 29 actually, guys. Okay. So whenever I said, whenever we got 29, then automatically it says that, it says that it is not working correctly as we expected. But in machine learning, in this data science, we have some advantage actually, guys. We are expecting 30, we have got 29. I don't say that the program is not working correctly. I expected 29, I expected 30, by output I have got 29. I say that my program is working 95% correctly. My program is not 100% working, but 95% it is working. I'll accept it. Even clients also accept it actually, guys. Isn't it? So what exactly I'm going to say that here is, what exactly I'm saying here is, don't think that in machine learning, whatever the output, the data science or whatever it may be, whatever the output we are expecting need not to be the same output as it is. Even if I get 29, even if I get 15 also, I'll accept it. I'll say it is working, but the machine is working only 50% correctly only. I expected 30, but it is predicted 15. It is only 50% only it is going to be predicting correctly, or up to 50% only it was able to work. Remaining 50% it is not working. That is what we are going to call it as evaluation. In evaluation, we'll say the same thing actually, guys. What is your score? 95%, 80%, 75%. If you say any machine learning model, finally we'll talk about something called as a score. We are going to call it as different scores are there. It's not only one single score. We are going to call it as a different scores. We are going to call it as. Just an example. Just an example I'm showing you. Let us say that, just an example, guys. Machine learning using Python. Just an example. I'm showing you one example with a Python application. I'm going to be showing you guys. Just an example. Don't worry about what I'm going to be doing it actually. So let us say that machine learning with Python. Okay. So let me just give me a second. Let us write some code actually, guys. Okay, otherwise I'll do one thing. A machine learning example will say that. A machine learning example, which is going to be using Python actually, guys. Right. So just no worries. Just finally, I don't want to explain. I don't want to make you understand all the things in all the things now, because later we are going to study all those particular applications. Just finally, if you observe carefully, whatever the machine learning application or whatever the machine learning code they have been written, you don't worry about all these things, all these particular code actually, guys. All this code is not required for us. Okay. Finally, I told you, if you hope you remembered, first we have to load the data actually, guys. After loading the data, what we have to do? We have to do some kind of and summarize the data set. Summarize means we have to do some analysis of the data set. Okay, look at the data. There are some statistical summaries are there. Okay, there are going to be, they will use some kind of a data visualization. These are called as box plots actually, guys. Maybe you have been not heard about the box plots. Okay, so see what are the skills I told you, the same skills actually, guys. Okay, finally we have been evaluated, we applied a machine learning algorithm. So I told you, build models, build machine learning models actually, guys. And finally, what we are going to be doing here is select the best model. So see, you can see that we have 6 models and accuracy estimators. I'll tell you guys, LR stands for which is going to be linear regression. It is going to be linear regression has been given 96% accuracy. Something like a linear discriminative analysis, which is going to be 97% analysis. KNN has been given 95% analysis. Navi base has been given 94. NB stands for Navi base. SVM stands for SVM stands for support vector machines. So see what scores we have got. They have contributed. They have been visualizing the algorithm comparison. So finally, which one is going to be the best option? Which one is going to be the best option? Which has been given the highest one? All these things we have to evaluate it actually. Can you see? So in every machine learning algorithm, it is not 100% accuracy, guys. No model is 100% accurate. So there are going to be 98%. If you see the SVM, I think SVM has given the highest, which is going to be 98% of accuracy. We have got it actually, guys. SVM. So if you can see, even if you see this particular application, you can see this. In this case, we can see that it looks like SVM has the highest estimated accuracy score of about 98%. So it is saying that this model has been learned better compared with the other one. So nobody is 100% accuracy, guys. But still we are going to be accepting it. So that is one of the advantage actually, guys. So don't think that as it is, whatever we are expecting, same output should come. The client expected some output, but even if I got some other output also, it is not a matter. It does not mean that it is going to be, it does not mean that we have been written wrong. Here we don't do anything, guys. Machine is going to learn. How much extent the machine is going to be learning only, we are going to studying it actually. So that is what we call it as evaluation. So just now we have seen, no, some of them has been given 94% accuracy. Can I improve? Can I make it by making some modifications, by fine tuning the model? Maybe 94% can become 96%, or a 96% can become 98% actually. This is tuning the model performance, guys. So which is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as improving of model performance. This is called as improving of, which is going to be model performance is what we are going to call it as. So once if you improve it from 94 to 98, it will improve. Okay, 98% it is working fine. Only chances is that 2% chances that they will go wrong. Once it is done, we are going to deploy them, guys. So deploy your machine learning models where we are going to be deploying, guys, into which is going to be nothing but some kind of any cloud deployments we are going to do it actually, guys. So deploy the ML models into the cloud or into the local machines, wherever you want to deploy, we can deploy it actually. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Ahmad is asking a question. I think everyone he has been posted to me. I'll just show you the question to everyone, guys. Observe carefully. Right. So it's a question has been asked by Ahmad. So guys, if anybody is posting any question, please post it to everyone, guys, so that everybody knows what I'm talking about that. Otherwise, they don't know what I'm talking about that. Okay. Why we are calling it as a machine learning instead of which is going to be a program learning? Seems like it is a pre-built program libraries and the models which we are using for analysis. Okay. So actually, see here, absolutely machines, all these machine learning algorithms, absolutely the machine learning algorithms are going to be nothing but something like somebody has written the code. We are just using that actually. So obviously it is going to be. But why we are going to call it as a machine learning? Why? Because here is these whatever I'm talking about something called as a machine learning. So in this case, it is machine learning. Apart from that, obviously see, for every concept we implement, there is going to be some the background. There is going to be some in the back end, there is some process is going on. So machine learning is going to be nothing but it is going to be there are some algorithms are going to be there. Just if we feed the input, them it's also like an internally some program is going to be gets written actually. But whenever we go to some higher level of which is going to be something like a deep learning. So the idea here is it's not completely like that means internally nobody is going to write a code saying that if this is the data, if this is the data, you have to do like this. If this is the data, it is do like this. It's not like that. Here, it's not like a programming language. We'll write a program directly, the program will run. No, even the machines also will uses their intelligence. Up to some extent, the machines also going to uses some kind of an intelligence. Like when you go to the deep learning and when you go to that particular AI related concepts, they are going to take their own decisions, they will be taken. Even in deep learning also, we are going to be internally uses. There is going to be some mathematical concept we are going to be using it actually. Even in AI related also, there are going to be some mathematical concept. But only the thing is, it is not purely somebody has hard coded the logic or the hard coded that particular program. So they have just given some outline saying that if this is the problem, so solve like this and automatically you decide. So internally what it is going to do is itself is going to decide actually. We'll see once you go for practically. If really the program is done in the same way, that means as you are saying that, sir, internally it is going to be some pre-programmed like this. Now what will happen here is internally when you give the same data, we have to give the same data has to give the same results. But machine learning algorithms are not like that. Even the data is the same data also. Every time you run, there may be a chances that they will learn in a different ways. So according to the definition of machine learning, it is going to be something like, yeah, just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. I'll be back. Yes, yeah. Sorry, I just got a call. So what we are talking about here is, guys, yeah. So according to the definition of machine learning, according to the definition of machine learning, it is not, that means we are giving the ability to machines, we are giving the ability to the machines to learn without much explicit coding. Hope you understood that, without much explicit coding. So we are writing some code internally, but not that much explicit coding actually, guys. So I can just tell you like what is going to be AI. Just I'll tell you the AI. For example, I want to, let us say that this is a room. So there is a robot is there. So the robot has to move from here to here. The robot has to move from here to here actually, guys. So I'll give some few instructions saying that find the optimal path. That means if you want to reach this particular destination, what is the optimal path? Optimal path means there are two things actually, guys. One is going to be whether it is a minimal time or whether it is going to be the minimal distance. Which one is going to be the, we have to choose it actually. Whether it is a minimal time or whether it is going to be minimal distance, which one you want. So I don't write any program here actually, guys. I don't write any program to that. So I'm saying that, so go this way, take this much time. So how much time you have been taken? I don't write any program. I simply say that, I simply give some instruction saying that you choose your different, whatever that this one is there, whatever the different paths are there. If let us say that you take some time, you take some direction, reach it. Let us say that you have been taken, let us say 30 seconds of time. Now you take, this is going to be another direction. Let us say that you have been taken 35 seconds of time. That means that you have been done some, that means you will be gets, which is going to be, you get some penalty. So if you've done something wrong, you are going to get a penalty. For example, if I take some other distance, for example, if I got only 25 seconds, then you are going to be gets rewarded. So I'll say the program saying that whenever you get the optimal, you get a reward. You just reward yourself. Whenever it is going to be, we have taken more time, you have to give some penalty for that actually. I'll give only that instruction only, and I'm going to leave it to the machine. So machine is going to study the remaining thing actually. So itself is going to, it is very intelligent that itself is going to do that. So machines always, obviously they will work only based on the human interaction only, or the human instructions only, but they have been became a little bit intelligent also. Some of the algorithms are going to be such a way that, so even if you don't feed the logic also, we are going to be finding the logic behind that. That's why we are not going to call it as a program learning. We are going to call it as a machine learning is what we are going to call it as. Okay. So that is the reason why we are going to be calling it as a machine learning, right? Ahmed, right? Ahmed Khan, right? Did I clarify your question? Any more discussion? Right. Okay, fine. So obviously I'm saying that machines won't learn it automatically, guys. Okay, so there must be some human, there must be. So I feed the data, I'm going to analyze the data, I'm going to data visualize the data, and I'm going to evaluate it actually. So we'll apply the machine learning models. I'll choose a machine learning model actually, guys. So do some model evaluations, improvement. This is the only step, guys, where the machine is going to do. Remaining all the process is my work only. That means we have to do it actually, guys. Here I said that directly data was given to the machine, but practically it is not data was directly given to the machine. Data was first given to the machine learning expert, an ML expert. So ML expert will do a lot of work. I'll tell you what is that work later. Then the data is going to be fed to the machine. Machine is going to find out some kind of an insights. And based on the insights, actually the machine, the user has to evaluate them. And based on the evaluation, it will be used for prediction. That is the total process actually, guys. It's not directly fed back directly to the machine. So data was fed to an ML expert. The ML expert is going to identify that particular, do some process, then feed the data to the machine. Machine comes with the insights. So verify how much extent that particular insights are correct. Based on that, we'll use it for the future prediction is all what we are going to do that. And finally, once you are satisfied with that, once it is giving, it's working perfectly. So it is going to be perfectly means 98%, 99%, 98%, whatever it may be. So then it is going to be nothing but we perform the deployment actually. So these are all the technical aspects in the machine learning. whatever the machine learning algorithm you apply or concept process is the same. Only one algorithm will take some time, guys. One algorithm completely, I'll teach us almost all for 10 days of time. One algorithm will take 10 days of time, guys. First algorithm. After once you understand the first algorithm, after that remaining algorithms are same process, guys. Only algorithm changes, the process, the concept, the algorithm concept changes only, but the procedure, the process remains the same. Remaining algorithms 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, not more than that. If it is a complicated one, 3 or 4 days it is going to take, not more than that. Got it, guys? So this is going to be mainly what we are going to be doing in the machine learning, guys. After machine learning, we'll go to deep learning. Actually, deep learning is also part of machine learning. Deep learning, machine learning is the same. But only thing is, in deep learning, we are going to be using some kind of a different types of algorithms we are going to use. They are called as neural networks. So actually now I can't explain it, but once you go to the machine learning, you will understand. So how the problem statement is getting solved by using ML, how the problem statement is going to be solved by DL. That is what I'm going to discuss about that. ML, DL, how it will works. We'll have a look into that particular applications. Okay. So anyhow, that is going to be the basically the idea of how we are going to be gets working with that. Okay. How we are going to be gets working with that. And we'll see them later. After that, DL, we are going to be having some AI related applications, what we are going to be using them. Okay. So that is going to be a different way of understanding. So now itself, we can't understand what exactly the procedure is going to be there. In our actual classes, we'll understand that particular application actually, guys. Okay. So this is going to be just the another technical discussion regarding what is going to be the machine learning, guys. Okay. So all these techniques, guys, totally I'm talking about machine learning, data collection, deep learning, NLP, all these are going to be completely the concepts of your data science. If you see some kind of a data science core concepts, if you see, guys, so many things are going to be there actually, guys. Just let me say what is going to be the data science, for example. So once if you see the data science, which is going to be like what is going to be the data science is going to get contains actually, guys. So many things it is going to contain. See, data science is a study of data to extract some meaningful insight from the business. It is a multidisciplinary approach that combines some principles and practices from the fields of mathematics, statistics, artificial intelligence, computer engineering to analyze a large volumes of data actually, guys. So once if you see, like, for example, if you see what are going to be just a different ideas actually, guys. So see, which is going to be 4 pillars of data science, business knowledge, some kind of a maths and all these things, storytelling skills, some kind of an applications, big data, so many areas what we are going to call it as. So once if you see, these are going to be the different skills what we are going to be requiring. Machine learning skills, data visualization. Actually, I didn't discuss about that. Some of the coding skills in Python and R. Okay, some maths and statistical concepts, data wrangling and pre-processing. Different people will talk in a different ways, guys. So there are so much areas are going to be there. So we can see that actually. A data scientist, a data engineering, business analyst. So they say somebody says that this is going to be the roadmap. So this is how we are going to do that. So how to create a data science project plan. I told you, know, first we have to sourcing the data. Actually design the problem statement. That is first case. Data cleansing, exploratory data analysis, visualizing your data, developing some kind of predictive models. And then we have to show some kind of a deployment and all these things has to take place. It's not, as I told you, it's going to be like, it's not a mandatory that you should be having the knowledge of maths, but there is going to be some, see, every concept we are going to learn in the data science is going to be correlated with, which is going to be maths. Everything is going to be correlated with the maths actually, guys. With the maths, it is going to be correlated. So if you understand what is the maths, I'm not saying that you have to know the maths actually, but if you can understand, I think you can understand the difference between what is knowing a concept and what is understanding the concept. So we don't write any code for that. We don't write any logic. We don't write any code. Just only thing is, if you can just understand the code, that is good. If you understand the maths behind them, that is going to be sufficient. It need not to be a completely mathematical expert, but absolutely there is going to be not need to be completely expertise in that. At least if you can understand what I am explaining, that is sufficient with that. Okay, that is going to be the idea of the what exactly the mass is going to be required. Okay, fine guys. So that's it guys. That is going to be the one more I can say the introduction class regarding that particular the data science, but yet to discuss guys, if you go on discussing, a lot of discussions will be coming. So as I told you, the first 3-4 classes are basically to identify, that means just to know like the basic ideas, like how exactly these are going to be gets working, what we are going to be learning in the class. So just to understand those topics only, we are going to be gets working with them guys. Okay, so that's it for the today's class guys. So tomorrow also we'll have some small technical discussions. I'll talk about them guys, 1 or 2 technical discussions I'll talk about that, and then I'll start with some regular concepts of regular classes. First I'll start with the Python classes actually guys. So 15 days, 2 weeks we'll be having Python core concepts guys. Then we'll move towards the whatever the concepts which are required for the data science concept, like NumPy, Pandas, data visualizations, all these things we have to complete, machine learning, deep learning, NLP, the big data systems, like that we'll go and we'll study those particular concepts guys. Okay, so that's it for the today's class guys. Anyone guys, if you have any questions, we can take just some few minutes for questions and then we can end up the session for today. If you have any questions guys.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah. Yes,
Actually, actually, I came from MBA. My MBA completed
okay.
in 2020.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
whether I'm trying for fresher or experienced, sir, how I need to try.
Both opportunities are available. Both as a fresher also it is available, as well as even some experience level also we have an available. So both for both of them.
Actually, in my MBA, I got 58%. They will see percent in the kind of company.
Now, actually, I think you know that now, as of now, the companies are not looking at the marks at all.
Okay.
They are going to give some kind of they'll give a kind of a problem statement. If you solve it, that is sufficient. You are entered. That's it. You are going to be appointed. That's it. So nowadays nobody is looking for the marks. Timings, class timings.
Sir. Actually, I'm working.
It will take 5 months of time. It will take it.
Yeah, no, sir. Timing, sir. Morning or evening, sir?
Evening, 6 p.m. As of now, it is 6 p.m. This class is from 6 p.m. to 7:15 p.m.
Sir, actually, I'm working, sir. Still now I'm 7 p.m. Is there any chance like 8 p.m. like or otherwise morning?
It may take some time. You will be having the sessions, but as of now, this batch is for 6 p.m. Just wait for inform to my backend team. Whenever a new batch will start, they will inform you. They will inform you about the morning batch. Okay.
Okay, sir. What is the payment?
Yeah, I'm getting some noise from your side. Yeah, can you repeat your question? Okay. Okay. I think who is that actually? Okay. So guys, I think please please talk to my backend team. My backend team is going to be discuss about the payments, the payment procedures and all these things. I will be talking about that. So I was technical trainer, right? So I will be talking only about technical aspects only. So if you have any discussions regarding the payments and all these things, guys, my backend team will contact you. So you can just talk to my backend team. So just you can speak with my backend team. They will help you. Okay, fine, guys. So that's it, guys. That is going to be for the today's class. Is there any specific exam like roadmap? We don't have any specific exams are not there, guys, but we are having some different types of like an online platforms. Like we have a different online platforms are there where you can just show your skills. And I told like you can say that in your resume you can put something like you have participated in a Kaggle competition, you have been scored this much, your rank is going to be this much. Like that, we are having some kind of an online platforms are there. So where we can participate in the competitions and we can show this as our one of our achievements in our as part of your resume preparation. We can do it actually. Okay, fine. Fine, guys. We have them. So if you have any contributed anything to the Kaggle or GitHub, they were nowadays they're asking actually, guys, tell me your GitHub, not your like a LinkedIn profile or a Facebook profile. Now they're asking about, tell me your Kaggle account, what is a Kaggle link, or it is going to be, what is your GitHub link? It is there. What is the repository? Have you contributed anything? So they're asking such kind of an applications. Okay, fine. So that's it for the today's class, guys. So I'll just end up the session for today, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow, the same time, the same link, guys. So tomorrow, day after tomorrow also we'll have a classes as usually. After that, from Monday onwards, I'll start with the maximum by day after tomorrow, even not regular classes, but I'll just start with some introduction this week. And the main classes, I'll start from the next Monday. I will start up them, guys. Okay. So thanks for today, guys. We'll meet up in the tomorrow's class. Thank you all of you guys.